The Racing Postcast in association with Paddy Power. They stream all UK and Irish racing live on your mobile, tablet or PC.
Hi there, welcome along to the Racing Post Weekend Review Postcast. I'm Bruce Millington and I'm joined by Nick Watts in the studio and on the line Tom Siegel. Plus from Paddy Power, Paul Binfield. We are going to be catching up on what we saw at the weekend, trying to dissect it, see if there's any clear messages that will help your anti-post punting as a consequence. We'll chat through a couple of big issues, Jockey's Championship, who's going to win, SDS or Jim Crowley, ITV lineup, a hit or a miss, we'll have a look at that. We've got some great action coming up at Newmarket at the weekend, so we'll have a little early look at where maybe some of the value lies. And also, I think we should have a little nod to the jumps. Nicky Henderson on the front of the Racing Post today saying that Altior's going straight over the large obstacles. No champion hurdle for him, so we'll have a look at maybe what price he is for Cheltenham Glory 6 months from now. Before we go any further and look at the racing, we'll have a quick chat about the hot topic of ITV racing. Nick Watts, do you think on what you've seen so far that they're getting it right? Do you like what you're seeing?
I think the key element was Matt Chapman for me. I think it's what racing has lacked over the last few years. There's been a colourful presence in the ring to bring out the colour of the event, the race day, the punters, the jungle as it was called. We haven't had that since John McCrick when he was in his prime, really. He's a bit of a Marmite character. Not everyone likes him. I'm a big fan. I think he's going to make the difference, and I think he's really going to get things going. Brilliant new element. Not sure about the rest of the team. I don't know much about some of them. Sally Ann Grassick is a name I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be a pivotal figure, but I think she'll do some stuff maybe from Ireland or something.
But
do you like Marmite?
I don't actually know.
You hate it?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I prefer honey on my toast, but yeah, not Marmite. But I think Francesca Kimani, very good signing. I've watched a bit of her in Australia doing the Melbourne Cup, so I think she's great. Ed Chamberlain's always come across very well when he's been doing his other sports, so fantastic. But Chapman's the icing on the cake for me.
What about you, Tom? All good, or some good, or all a complete disaster? It's going to be worse than Channel 4.
Look, I have no idea, Bruce. To be honest, I'll be totally honest here. It's not something that I've spent too much time thinking about. Good luck to them. All the guys that go on there, I think they all deserve a shot. I mean, I'm disappointed for some of the blokes I know from Channel 4. I think, in what universe does Nick Luck not get a job when some others do? That's the way I look at it. But, good luck. Matt, good luck. I've known Matt for 20 years. Nice chap. Good presenter. Let's just get on with it. Let's just see how it goes. I have no preconceptions. I'm just looking forward to seeing what they come up with.
What about you, Mr. Binfield? Do you have strong views?
Not too strong, Bruce, but I don't know Matt Chapman too well personally. I would say I'm very disappointed for Tanya Stevenson. I think she's done an excellent job over the last few years. Her presenting skills have come on marvellously, and she really does know the bookmaking very well indeed. And I think possibly Channel 4 didn't give her enough chances in front of the camera. I go against the people like Mark Johnson. I don't think there is enough betting on the show, and I don't think Tanya got enough chances.
Okay, fair enough. Jockey's Championship, that's another one that some people don't give a toss about, really. Unless you've had a bet, or you either are or know either of the two protagonists, you're probably not that fussed. What is the latest from Paddy Power, though? Will it be Crowley for the first time, or Sylvester de Sousa following up a back-to-back title, Paul?
Well, we think Crowley will win it. He's 4-11 favourite, Bruce. De Sousa's 15-8, but it's been interesting the last few days how, if one of them wins a couple of races, the odds change, fairly dramatically from the positions they're at. So I certainly wouldn't rule De Sousa out at the present time.
Okay, what about you, Nick? Who's going to do it?
I think it might be De Sousa. When Crowley drew level, and he seemed to be just like climbing all the time, I thought he might overtake De Sousa and go on and win it comfortably. He hasn't. Sylvester has fought back really, really tenaciously, and I think there's still only 3 in it today as we stand, isn't it? And
there is, yeah.
That's nothing at all.
And James Pyman pointed out on Friday an interesting link-up between De Sousa and Braveheart. That little partnership seems back on. So that could stand him in good stead for the next month or so, Tom, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a toss-up for me between the two, but
in that case, you've got to back De Sousa at a big price, haven't you?
Exactly. I mean, that's what I have done. But I'm going to sound like I got out the wrong side of bread and Mr. Grumpy today. But it's something that I have no interest in at all. I mean, it's great for them, as you said, Bruce. If you know them and if you're you're interested in it, it's fantastic. Or if you had a bet, for me, it's just, I couldn't care less who rides the most winners at Wolverhampton on a Saturday night, personally.
Got a work cut out with negative Nigel down there.
I'm coming good later on,
okay,
I promise.
Good. Excellent. All right, so we'll wait for
Once we
Tom
get on
to
those
wake
jumps, those Arkle prices,
Well,
Bruce,
that's
I'm
only
away.
towards the end. You've still got a fair way to go yet, Tom. You're going to have to show some interest. Yes, you are. And we're going to look at last Saturday now. It's the Ayr Gold Cup, which Brando, and a very clever headline by my learned colleague John Hopkins, went with the Goldfather. That was quite good, wasn't it?
Very good, yes.
Very good line, that. I guess, Paul, that you were quite pleased to see Brando overcome Growl, who was very, very well back, wasn't he?
Yeah, Growl would have been a horrendous result, Bruce. Brando, he was a better result than Growl, but he was still popular. And fair play to Kevin Ryan. 4 winners in the last 10 years of such a competitively outstanding, competitive handicap is an outstanding achievement. Absolutely.
And Tom, can Brando go on and make that step up now to group class in the sprints?
Well, he's already won, hasn't he? We were there, Bruce, at Sandown when we saw him in a group race. He was then a little bit disappointing the next time, wasn't he, after that? But of course he can, yeah. Win an Ayr Gold Cup off top weight, you've got to be a seriously good horse. He was just a little bit disappointing at York the next time, wasn't he, behind Mecca's Angel? But he's a seriously good horse, really impressed. Little bit, here he comes, negatives out again. A little bit disappointed that we had the old massive draw issues at Ayr this week. I hate race. I hate it when that happens. I think we want to make the racing as fair as we can, and then the poor horses drawn high. Although they did have choice to choose where they went. They all went on the wrong side.
Is that the jockeys deciding the effects of the draw, or the groundsman deciding it?
Well, I don't think it was the groundsman's fault. I think just the way these things happen. There's no way a groundsman would want to have one side a point slower on the going stick than he would. By choice. I think it's just the way things happen, but it was clear that the stand side had no chance. So all those trainers that got up there early on Thursday morning and chose the high numbers should have done their homework. Paul Keeley would have told them. He told them the day before where to go, and he was spot on.
Well, there you go. As Tom says there, Nick, the clues were there for people, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
Whether they take them.
They were, yeah, and anyone on anti-post, obviously you've always got the draw. You don't know what you're going to get, but those in the lead up to the race, so you knew that the low numbers were favoured. So no real surprise. Once that is in evidence, then it just kind of repeated itself. But great performance by Brando. We did discuss him earlier in the season. I remember after that Sandown race, and we thought he might run well at York in the Nunthorpe. Didn't quite do it. But Kevin Ryan's won the Abbey before, hasn't he? I think with quite a big price horse, Desert Lord, a few years ago. Wouldn't be surprised to see Brando step up again. He's kind of on the cusp, isn't he, of top class handicap.
To me, he did something that I wasn't expecting. The reason, I had a good look at the race. I ended up tipping the other top weight because I thought it was a top heavy race, and backing absolutely so. I was quite surprised he finished off the race as well as he did. I thought he was. I always like sort of a strong stayer in this race. Now, I know he ran well in the Wokingham, but I thought he got outstayed in the last half furlong of the Wokingham. I was really surprised how strong he was at the finish. I think that provides a new sort of element to him, the way they held him up and waited on, because they've been sort of quite forceful with him in the past. I think, over 6 furlongs with a little bit of patient riding, I think he's really good.
Okay, well, we will save our Ayr eye catchers for after the break, when we'll also be looking back at Newbury and presumably a very emotional moment for Nick Watts.
Here's Paddy Power's latest horse racing offer. It's money back as a free bet if your horse finishes second to the SP Fav at one meeting every day this month. Paddy Power, you're welcome. Max free bet £25, 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Welcome back, Bruce Millington, Nick Watts, Tom Siegel, and from Paddy Power, Paul Binfield are looking back on the action at Newbury. And Nick, Cotai Glory, a horse who pretty much features every single time you're on a postcast, and he finally came good, didn't he? Please tell me you had the absolute crown jewels on him.
No, I'd love to be able to tell you that, Bruce, but I've got to say I was on Alpha Delfini, who just got done in the photo.
No.
Charlie Hills has been spinning the line all season that the horse hates soft ground. He can't go dig in the ground. And yet his 2 best performances this season, second in the King's Stand at Ascot on soft, and then he goes and wins on Saturday.
Nicky, what?
I know.
Loyalty.
It's the worst sob story I've ever heard.
And you're a newlywed. You've got to show more loyalty and more faith. You've got to keep the
I'm normally very forgiving with horses, but I just thought Alpha Delfini's in great form. I didn't think she'd bind the ground. I thought when it came to a duel, I'm not sure Cotai Glory is the bravest in the world. I was convinced she was going to get up. Didn't quite do it.
What did you do? What was your kind of mime? What your reaction was afterwards?
Well, it was just head in hands. It was just complete despair. But Luckily, I had Mark Ronson doing a DJ set after racing to pick me back up.
Oh,
again,
was that
so,
good?
Yeah, that was
Were you
that was a lot
dancing?
of fun. It was a very poor crowd, actually.
Oh, was
You were
it?
there, were you watching?
Yeah,
it?
Will Young a month ago. I'm not a Will Young fan, by the way, but it was absolutely heaving for him. Mark Ronson didn't really do it for the
Really?
crowd. No, it was very
What
very
about
poor crowd.
73 millimetres of rain? That might have put a few off as well, mightn't it?
Yeah, probably did.
And who was it? Where was it after the eclipse? I think it was Mark. What was he called? Grimshaw. Was it? Is he called
Grimshaw?
Nick Grimshaw? Isn't he? Yeah.
Mr.
He was
Grimshaw.
He was doing a set, and it was very quiet afterwards. So yeah, perhaps the old DJs aren't that good. But then Goodwood have a lot of success with their DJs. Who knows? I don't know. Did you see anything of interest at Newbury, Tom?
Harry Angel was good, wasn't he, Bruce? I mean, I think very good time for the conditions. I mean, he wasn't.
Your time.
I know. Look at me with my time.
Sectionalister,
No,
Tom Siegel.
Definitely not a sectionalista. But I think sometimes when these 2-year-olds come out and you sort of see how he was backed off the boards. He won easily. The time was good. He's got to be a very good horse, that Harry Angel. Don't know how much he'll be dependent on some giving underfoot. I probably don't think he will be, but. Clive Cox, bit of a whiz with these sprinters, bit of a whiz with every horse. I could see him, us looking at him at Ascot next year, Bruce, Commonwealth Cup.
He can train, can't he? He
Good man, he is, isn't he?
Paul, did you like anything Newbury?
I thought the opening maiden on the Saturday was interesting, Bruce, particularly for your race, the Racing Post Trophy. The winner, Swiss Storm, might go there for David Ellsworth, but the one I took from the race was City of Joy, who for Sir Michael Stout also has a Racing Post Trophy entry, and I think he will be much better on better ground if you get that at Doncaster.
Okay, well, is that going to be one of your... You had 2 horses each from the weekend for your tracker, okay? Is that going to be one of yours, Paul?
Yeah, we'll
City of Joy?
City of Joy in the tracker, Bruce.
And who's the other one, mate?
I'm going to go for Johnny Barnes, who ran in the Ayr Gold Cup. Tom already mentioned about the draw up at Ayr. This one was 8 for Johnny Gosden, only beaten 4.5 lengths. He got in more trouble than a Premiership footballer in a nightclub, and it was his first try at the distance.
Okay, fair enough. That analogy actually doesn't really work. I was thinking about this the other day, Paul. It's a coincidence that you use that analogy, because I was thinking footballers have been pretty well behaved lately. It's hard to think of any that have really chucked it in.
That's a good point, Bruce. What about these rugby lads? They get away with murder, don't they? One bloke biting, they jump off ferries.
Yeah, I know.
They take blood capsules and everyone
when they're not drinking each other's urine and aftershave and nicking golf carts and stuff like that.
Everywhere on trains and everything. And everyone, it's old rugby, good old rugby players.
I saw those 4 Man United footballers went to visit the old fella just before he died. Yeah. That was really, really nice. Our midfield hero Jimmy MacArthur, who was man of the match yesterday, he auctioned his kit off afterwards for a good cause. They do a lot of nice things. So
it drives me mad when they bang on about poor old, and then these rugby players sort of get away with it.
I think you're right, mate. I think you're right. What about those hockey players?
Oh,
not to mention them. Right, Nick, we'll get your 2 for the horse tracker.
Don't nick the good ones, Nick.
No, well, the first one's got... Paul's already mentioned it, but not City of Joy for me. It's the winner, Swiss Storm.
Oh, right, okay.
Could Elsie finally have a classic winner this late into his career? I mean, he's in the right hands. He's not scared, is he, Elsie, of pitching his horses in when he thinks he's got a good one. And to me, I thought not City of Joy, Swiss Storm won really, really nicely. Huge stride on him. Very reminiscent of his sire, Frankel. 33-1 for the 2,000 Guineas, and with Elsie that he's, like I said, he's just not going to be scared of pitching him into top races. So very, very keen on him. And there's one in the 2nd division of the maiden at Newbury on Saturday called Crystal Ocean. Sir Michael Stout trains him, half brother to Hillstar, finished 2nd, not beaten far at all. I'm sure he'll come on a ton for it. He's another name to note.
All right, have anyone nicked any of yours, Tom?
Nah, they southern bias, you see, Bruce. They should have been up at Scotland looking at the air. What about that Delectation or whatever it was called that won the Firth Clyde?
Well, let's hope it was called that. Because people are going to be trying to type it into their horse track.
It's definitely called that. It was. It won the Group 3 Firth Clyde up there. It was in trap 13. It missed the break by 3 lengths, and it won by 3 for Brian Smart. I thought it was really impressive. I think she is definitely a filly that's with Group 1 potential. They were talking about selling her off to Australia or somewhere funny, but I think Brian Smart's keeping her, so she'd definitely be the first one. And the other one won the mile handicap up there, Mirando for Roger Varian. Won by 2.5 lengths. I think he's run 4 times, won 3, won the last 3 very easily, undoubtedly.
Oh, was that the thing Kills put up?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
That was,
stayed on really well, didn't it?
Yeah, it won by mile. It's really, really impressive. That's not a group horse, then I don't know what is.
I knew I'd back one winner on Saturday. Carnage apart from that. Okay, well, let's hope this weekend is better, and we'll have a look at that in just a mo.
Here's Paddy Power's latest horse racing offer. It's money back as a free bet if your horse finishes second to the SP Fav at one meeting every day this month. Paddy Power, you're welcome. Max free bet £25, 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Bruce Millington, Nick Watts, Tom Siegel and Paddy Power's Paul Binfield are looking ahead to the weekend where there's a really cracking couple of days at Newmarket. Where should we start? What's the big race, do you think, on Saturday? Is it the Cheveley Park, is it the Middle Park or the Cambridgeshire? You choose, Nick. Where are we going to go first?
Well, I think the most exciting betting one is certainly the Cambridgeshire. You get the best prices. I think if Lady Aurelia and Queen Kindly line up in Cheveley Park, it's a really good match. I think I'd be with Queen Kindly if I had to pick between the pair of them. Like Lady Aurelia, obviously she shone at Royal Ascot, absolutely brilliant. But I think in terms of longevity and, you know, a key to the future, I think if Queen Kindly won that, it would be a real, you know, boon for the chances of classic success next year, maybe. So I'd be hopeful of her besting Lady Aurelia on the back of that slightly below par performance in France last time. And if you wanted a good one for the Cambridge, I quite like Sparkplug, Brian Meehan's horse, double figure price. I think it's about 14 to 1.
We're only supposed to choose which race we talk about first. You've gone through the whole card.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I got carried away then. Yeah. Okay, it's the Cambridgeshire.
You're talking about the Mile Mayor Fleet next. No, let's stick with the Cheveley Park because you did touch upon that. It's a really interesting match, isn't it? And obviously, Lady Aurelia is going to be jolly, Paul. But I guess there'll be a few people wondering after the run in France whether, you know, what we saw at Royal Ascot was not too good to be true, but too good to be true in terms of sustaining it over a long period. How do you bet?
We bet 11 to 10 Lady Aurelia, Bruce, 3 to 1 Queen Kindly, 7 to 1 Roly Poly, and then 8 to 1 Bar.
Do you have a view?
I think Roly Poly could offer a bit of value at 7 to 1. She was only 3/4 of a length behind Queen Kindly in the Lalver, and I think Newmarket will suit her a bit better. I'd prefer if it was 7 furlongs, but I think she's got a good chance of beating her stable companion.
What do you reckon, Thomas?
I thought it was, well, we got the two, obviously, superstar horses. But also, shouldn't forget Fair Eva, who won, was really, I think she didn't run up to form at York last time. And then the French filly was only just behind Lady Aurelia last time, Al Rama. I think it's, you know, undoubtedly the best quality two-year-old race.
Isn't Fair Eva running in the Rockfell? Is she
well,
on
that's
Friday?
What he said. I mean, with the prices at the moment, I think she needs 7 furlongs, so I'd be slightly worried her back 6 against these speedsters. So yes, the chances are she'll win on the Rockfell. But
I guess the question we want now to know is: do you think Lady Aurelia is going to prove on Saturday that she's here to stay, or do you think she can get overhauled?
I think she'll win myself. Yeah, I do. I think Newmarket will suit her down the hill there.
Any of you people had a good look at the weather? I suppose you have for agricultural point of view, Nick. You always like to know whether the drainage in the lower field's going to be standing up. What have we got this week?
Bruce, you caught me on the hop there.
Okay,
I've
mate.
not yet looked at the weather forecast for the week, unfortunately.
I'll have a
normally
look
do.
now.
I missed Countryfile last night.
I'm doing it as we speak.
You missed Countryfile?
Yeah, I missed it last
Why?
night.
What was on to divert your attention away from that? I thought that was your absolute TV banker of the week, no?
Is John Craven your hero?
Well, he's one of mine, but it's changed to Adam Henson now.
Is he the ginger haired lad who's got that herd of unusual
That's it,
cows?
yeah, the rare breeds.
He's
farm,
really
yeah.
good, isn't he?
He is very good.
Right, let's have a look. Okay, there's not a lot of rain on my app. Tom, have you had a look?
Saturday, it says on the BBC one, it says there might be rain on Saturday.
I've got next to nothing.
But nothing up till then. And what was it on Saturday, Nick? What was the ground at Newmarket like on Saturday? I didn't get to see much in Newmarket.
Newmarket,
Newmarket Saturday, where they had
there, didn't they? Yeah. I think there was a bit of cut, wasn't there?
I don't think it was too bad though, was it?
Okay, right. Now then, I'm going to really test you before we go. I want an autumn double pick. So you've got to do the Cambridgeshire, which is on Saturday, and then Cesarewitch, which is 2 weeks after that. So who wants to start? Who's going to be brave? Come on, Nick.
Yeah, go on. Well, I already mentioned him for the Cambridge. I think Sparkplug's got a good chance. Good run at York last time. Quite an eye-catcher. Finished 4th. I think the mile and the furlong suit him perfectly. And then if we're still going for the second leg, Sir Mark Prescott, it looks like he's got it taped with Saint Michel. Well in. Good run in the Doncaster Cup last time. I think there's more to come. So I will go for a double-figure price in the first leg, followed by the likely favourite in the second.
Okay, Sparkplug and San Michel for Nick Watts. Who for you, Tom Siegel?
Well, I've done these for the anti-post.
Oh yeah, go on then.
I tipped Sparkplug, a big price. I tipped one of John Gosden's Domerson, a 3-year-old. Little bit disappointing on the all-weather last time. I'm very scared of a horse with Jeremy Nasidas in there called Bravo Zolo, who hasn't been seen since second in the Lincoln at the start of the season. I think he's got a good chance. In the Cesarewitch, I'm very keen on Starchitect for David Pipe. I think Pipe's got a great record in these races. He had the winner of the staying race at Ayr at the weekend that was well backed. I think Starkitect's been a plot for this for ages. The problem, as Nick pointed out, are the 2 horses that ran in the group race at the Doncaster Cup. There is obviously San Michel, who finished, I think, 3 lengths in front of Sweet Selection. Now, I'd be very interested in Sweet Selection. I think it's going to be £9 better off. She's much more likely to get in the race as well. And I think that has been the plan for Hughie Morrison's mare all season long. She's going to stay forever. So my 2 in that would be Starkitect and Sweet Selection.
Paul, you're very short on Sweet Selection. Let's get your 2 for the autumn double, Paul.
Well, I think the first one would be a great story for you if it came off, Bruce. Bronze Angel at 25 to 1 to give Marcus Tregoning a hat-trick in the race with the same horse. He's only a bit higher than he's won off. A mark he's won off before, and he comes good at this time of year. In the Cesarewitch Star Rider for Hughie Morrison, the 16 to 1 chance wasn't quite good enough in the Park Hill, but back to an extreme distance could go well.
Okay, so that's the autumn double, but let's cast our eyes a little bit further ahead because, as I mentioned at the start of the show, Nicky Henderson is going to send Altior straight over fences. So the target presumably is the Racing Post Arkle in March, and presumably, Paul Binfield, he is very prominent in your market.
Very prominent, Bruce. We put him in at 7 to 2 favourite now for the race, following the news on your front page today.
Go on, give us a show then. Whet our appetite.
Well, we go 7 to 2 Altior, 6 to 1 Min, 8 to 1 York Hill, and then 12 to 1 Bar.
Oh, now you're talking, aren't you? Listen to those names tripping off Paul Binfield's tongue there, Nick. Great, eh?
Oh, fantastic, yeah. Slightly disappointing from my point of view.
And mine.
Altior's not being given a chance to go for the champion hurdle. He won the Supreme so well. Give him a chance. You know, there's always a rush to put these horses over fences, and that's what he's doing, so we've got to live with it. But
perhaps they take the view that if Faugheen comes back, he's going to absolutely romp to victory. I don't know. What do you think? Or Annie?
Well, once... when Paul read those prices out, I'd much prefer Altior, even though he's 7 to 2 to Min, at whatever price Min was. He looked as though maybe, you know, he was more hyped than substance last season. He got beaten, didn't he? But and York Hill, who knows what he's going to do? It's going to be the endless guessing game. It's, you know, starting early. But at least Nicky's come out and said straight away, Altior's going for the Arkle. We know what he's going to do. So if you want to take 7 to 2 now, I don't. But if you want to, then you can.
Do you want to, Tom?
Bruce, I'm one of those blokes that has been sat at home waiting for the Racing Post to come through his letterbox since about age 7. And it's come through this morning, and it's...
You've got a very slow paper, boy, haven't you? You've been waiting 40 years.
No, not here. Every day I wait for my paper to come through them. And I opened it up this morning, I was gutted. I had backed Altior for the champion hurdle. I backed York Hill for the Arkle.
No.
And it's all gone horribly wrong.
Oh, Christ.
In a matter of seconds. I'm hoping that maybe he makes bungles a couple first time out and gets back in the champion hurdle, because I'd love to see him in there. We've got to give Willie Mullins something to run. He's won the champion hurdle how many times recently? You know, we need to give him a race. Altior was the horse to do that. And I've backed York Hill for the Arkle, so it was disappointing to see Altior be rerouted to the chasing game. Great for all of us. Great for all of us, I'm sure. But you know, he's a great horse. I think he's going to be a fearsome competitor to whichever way they go. And if they go chasing, then, you know, 7 to, you know, we say these prices are bad, and then come the day when he's 5 to 4, we sort of think, oh, I wish I'd taken some of that 4 to 1.
Exactly, and then some smug bastard tells you they backed him at 7 to 2 in September, don't they? And you hate them for it.
Exactly.
Paul, are you flat or jumps?
I'd be more flat, I'm afraid, Bruce.
So you don't get remotely excited about the Arkle at this stage, no?
Well, obviously I'm excited about it, Bruce, but we've still got, you know, loads of highlights on the flat, and the winter can wait for me.
Can't wait for me. OK, we are back on Thursday with the football postcast, and then on Friday we've got the weekend one, looking ahead to all that juicy action at Newmarket. Join us for that.
The Racing Postcast in association with Paddy Power. They pay more extra places than any other bookie.